Hi friends, welcome to my little corner of the internet where we are working on becoming the best version of ourselves in 2024. I'm really excited about today's topic because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. This is something I've seen in everyday people, in my friendships, past friendships. It's something that I feel like a lot more people than you think deal with, and that is victim mentality. I've seen so many people be held back from their full potential or their goals, what they want for themselves, simply because of self-sabotage, and they don't even realize they're doing it. And before I really get into it, I want to shout out this book. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Weiss. It's a very good book, and it really talks about the different ways that we self-sabotage and how that affects us and how that might be playing a role in our subconscious mind and how we think it's serving us, but it's really not. If you're struggling with repeating patterns or you're wondering why you feel like you're putting in a lot of work but you're not seeing any results, I definitely recommend you guys check out this book because you might not even know that you're self-sabotaging yourself. The first step is calling yourself out and realizing the issue, and then you can fix it. And on that note, let's get straight into this video. I want to preface this by saying I come from a small town in Georgia, and with small towns, you know, that comes with small minds. So I feel like I've grown up around a lot of people who would just complain about their circumstances and never wanted to do anything about it. And that really drove me crazy because I am such a solution oriented person. I don't like dwelling on the problem. I like thinking about problem solving and solutions. How can we fix this? What can we do about this? Like, I don't take no for an answer, and I'm very stubborn. So when a problem arises, I refuse to believe that there's no solution and that there's nothing to be done about that. And I feel like that's the opposite of victim mentality because one is very action based and the other is very safe. So let's talk about what is victim mentality. And I have a little explanation for you right here. These are the signs of victim mentality: stating that people are better off without you, dramatizing insignificant events, learned helplessness, fixation on negative events or trauma, lack of empathy, low self-esteem, needing excessive attention, blaming others for their actions, being easily angered, irritated, or agitated, and severe self-pity. I've had a front row seat in people with this kind of mentality. I feel like a lot of people unknowingly use the circumstances that they've been through, their traumas and negative experiences, as a good reason to them why they shouldn't even try, why they can't do better. And that makes them feel better about not doing anything or not achieving anything because, and listen to this, it affirms that it's not their fault. If they take the pressure off themselves and say, okay, well, I can't go to college because my parents didn't go to college and nobody ever taught me the importance of getting an education, so I'm not going to, and that's fine. I'm gonna drop out and work this job that I hate because that's all I know. That's an example of someone using their circumstances as an excuse or a reason or validation to them why they can't do better. Honestly, I think it's just that. I think it's just a way to comfort yourself and make yourself feel better about not trying, because when the problem is not your fault, you can't do anything about it and you don't have to feel bad about not doing anything about it. If something is outside of my control, then I can let it go and I can blame everyone else when really I should be looking in the mirror. My bad, y'all. My camera battery just died. The devil is a liar. He do not want me to make this video, but guess what? This video is going out, okay? So where was I? Okay, so I know what you might be thinking, but Sharoy, you don't understand. My boyfriend broke up with me. I got fired from my job. My life is just so miserable. I can't do anything right. Listen, I'm not discrediting the fact that it's hard. Life is hard. When stuff hits the fan and things are coming at you, that can be very, very, very overwhelming. Trust me. But do not use your circumstances, your upbringing, where you were born, your parents, your family, whatever. Do not use that as a reason for why you haven't done this or why you have done this or whatever the case is. Half of the time, it's not your fault. Things happen, it's not your fault. But what I'm telling you is, how you can combat victim mentality is taking responsibility for the things that happen to you in your life. Now, I'm not saying victim blame or anything like that. That's something different. What I'm saying is, if you are in control of something, that means you're in control of the solution. That means you can do something about it. I have seen too many people blame everyone else for why they are the way they are, but they just don't want to own up to themselves, their problems, what they're facing. And I know sometimes it may be intentional, sometimes it might not be intentional, but sometimes you just have to look in the mirror and say, listen, all these things are happening. I'm the common denominator. What can I do to create a life that's better for me? I feel like that just takes so much guesswork out of it. If I'm suffering and it's somebody else's fault and I can't stop suffering until they decide to stop making me suffer, I would go crazy. Why? Because that means I'm not in control, and that means I have to be at the mercy of someone else. And I'd rather mop the ocean with a bucket and a mop than do that, okay? So I have always taken responsibility for things in my life solely so that I can do something about it. I am quick to throw everything away and start a new life. It started, I want to say, in 2021 when I literally quit my job, packed my car, and drove 14 hours to New York City. And I've never been to that city before. I just wanted to move there. I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have a house lined up, and I just wanted to make it work, and it worked out beautifully, better than I could have ever imagined. It honestly feels like such a dream, and I feel like I was being rewarded for taking a leap of faith. Now, things didn't immediately go perfectly. In the beginning, it was rough, and I had to work, and I had to make it work for me, but I could have easily succumbed to the thoughts of, oh my gosh, this is not working for me. This makes no sense. Why did I do this? I'm gonna fail. I didn't even entertain those thoughts, to be honest, because I wanted to be there, and there was no other option. And when you adopt that mentality and that attitude, watch how things just work in your favor, versus having a victim mentality when you feel like there's nothing you can do. This is just how your life is going to be, and you just do what you can. I just believe that everyone is capable of amazing things. I feel like everyone is capable of achieving their goals. And as someone who struggled with imposter syndrome, low self-esteem, the list goes on and on and on, I've been through some crazy things in my life, and I could have easily used those as reasons to not try, to not get myself to the next level. And no one would bat an eye. They'd be like, you did what? I don't look like what I've been through, and I'm grateful for that. But if y'all knew, y'all would be like, how are you standing? How are you still here? Like, what? You're crazy. And maybe I am, but this is what has worked for me. And I just really do not want to see people hold themselves back because they feel like they're a victim to circumstances, to their environment, to whatever is plaguing them, because that is not the case. It's really not. So I encourage you guys to ask yourself this: where am I acting like a victim in my life? What am I allowing to happen to myself? And what can I do to fix it? I have had so many conversations with people where they tell me their problems, and I'm like, okay, because if you come to me with your problems, I'm assuming that you want things to change. You want better for yourself. So I'm gonna immediately get into solution mode. Like, okay, what can we do about this? And I have had conversations with people where they tell me, hey, Sharoy, this is happening. I've been through this, and this. Like, it's overwhelming, it's a lot, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, have you tried this? And they're like, oh no, I can't do that because of this reason. Oh, have you tried this? Oh no, that won't work. No. And I'm like, oh well, have you tried this? And they're like, nah. And I'm just like, okay, like, I've given you a list of solutions, we've broken down the problem together, we've created a game plan, but you're rejecting everything that I'm suggesting to you. So at that point, it's like, do you want things to get better? Do you want a solution? Do you want to change? Like, I don't understand. And I get that sometimes you do need to just sit in your emotions and feel it. Like, I do not recommend bottling your emotions or not going through things at all, because that will come up later in maybe a spicy, fiery situation that you don't want. So I feel my emotions when they arise, and I allow myself that, and I encourage others to do the same. But at some point, you have to pick yourself up and move forward, and obviously deal with whatever you've been through, obviously heal from that, and that will be a whole journey within itself. But when you're ready, you're going to have to acknowledge that I can do something about this. I don't have to live like this, and just go ahead and move forward. The bottom line is, victim mentality does not serve you. It will quite literally sabotage and contradict trying to move forward and achieving your goals and moving on with your life. And I don't want that for any of you, my subscribers, my friends. I love you guys. So I encourage you to recognize where you have victim mentality and let it go, and combat that with taking responsibility, persevering, finding solutions, and not taking no for an answer. Just because you try something and it doesn't work out doesn't mean that you should quit. Try something else. Be stubborn and tenacious in the sense that you're not going to accept anything other than a beautiful, lovely life filled with joy and happiness. And that's when you will truly find freedom. But it is a hurdle that you have to climb over. It is definitely a hurdle, and I will not knock the struggle that comes with getting to the other side, but you can and will get to the other side. Oh my gosh, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to let me know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see from me, what kind of topics you want us to talk about on my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.